War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This battle is brought to you by our channel members and FLGS partners, Warpfire Minis and X-Planet.
Hello and welcome to Season of War! We are excited to bring you another game of Age of Sigmar, and it's going to be a spooky one tonight. Halloween themed for one of, if not the best holiday in the world. So excited here. We got Mark joining me again tonight, and we got some death on death. Lots of bodies, lots of recursion, lots of ghosts, so...
Lots of spooky.
Yeah, as spooky as we can make it. So hope you guys are excited and stick around with us and have some fun.
Yeah.
But then I don't honestly do it enough. I hate shilling, but if you guys want to support the channel, the best way to do it is through our YouTube membership. It also gets you access to an extra battle report every week, which is the big sell. Sometimes two, because we're alternating on and off with 40K now. Every week is going to be a public or members one only rotating, so battle report and a half each week now. But guys, again, that's the best way to support the channel, and it goes a long way, so thank you so much if you're able to do that. But on to today's battle. We're playing Geomantic Pulse, so we got 4 objectives on the battlefield here. It is just hold 1 for 1 objective, and then from the second battle round onwards, whoever's going second will choose one of the end objectives to be the Pulse. And that pulse is worth 2 points. Objectives on either side of it are worth 1. And each turn after the second round, that pulse will move cascading down to the other end of the table.
Yep.
So you kind of got to be able to adapt and move with the objectives.
For sure.
Or with the pulse as it goes. And that turn 2 priority can be a big one of determining where the pulse is.
Huge, yeah.
So, without further ado, Mark, do you want to jump in and take us through your list?
Yeah, I'm very excited to bring out Vycross. This faction is so cool and has just such cool lore, so I was really excited to try out some fun list here. So I have a Warlord battalion that has Radakar, Vampire Lord, Right King, and 1 unit of Graveguard. And mainly for the extra artifact and the extra CP. Lots and lots of wolves, 3 units of wolves, and I get to summon on 10 unit of wolves through heroic action, which is really great for the sub-faction. I can, on top of that, bring back more wolves every turn, which is kind of cool through heroic action. Bring in 30 skeletons, just lots of bodies on objectives. I heard that wins you games.
Yes,
having bodies
points
on objectives. Who knew? 20 unit of Graveguard just as a hammer. That's their function there. The Right King has the standard, the Ulfil Cannon Phylactery, which is the 5-up ward aura. And I also brought the standard of the Ulfil Con for every time you spend a CP on a 4-up, I get a CP.
That's really good.
Share the wealth, you know? Yep. And we have Vampire Lord has the spell Hoarfrost. For that, can't leave home without it. And we have Soul Pike from Bella.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like you said, lots of bodies, lots of undead minions running around. So hopefully we'll be able to take them down. I am playing Starlit Doom over here with the Nighthaunt today. Obviously, got a lot of blade dice here, and hopefully, again, they'll help me do some chopping, as well as their mortal wounds on impact, which is great from the sub-faction. I do have 2 units of 20 blade dice, and then a unit of 10. As well as 2 units of 5 Hex Wraiths and a unit of 3 Spirit Hosts. That's not all my units. I do have a unit of Chain Gas as well, just for that buff that they have. And then I have 4 different Nighthaunt heroes, actually 3 different ones, but 4 heroes total. I've got a Guardian of Souls, who is my general. He's got the trait to bring back a unit on a 4-up once per game, and the artifact to cast an additional spell once per game. Then I have a second Guardian of Souls, a Cruelgast Cruciator, and then a Spirit Torment, also with a great buff. So stacking buffs, hopefully, that we'll be able to get out. The Spirit Torment has actually an artifact as well, because I was similarly Warlord in Battle Regiment. And his artifact is once per game, all the Nighthaunt units wholly within 12 get +1 attack.
Huge.
He already wants to be wholly within 12 for his buff. So should hopefully be able to kind of use that to good effect at some point. And that is everything for my list. I was a bunch of points under, but there wasn't really an endless spell I didn't feel I don't have great spell casting, so I decided to go for the Triumph.
For sure.
So I'll pretty confidently have the Triumph. I think I'm 70 points
2,000,
down.
yeah, 2,000 on the dot here with all these bodies for sure.
Yeah, and Mark, we were both same 5 drops with the Battle Reg and Warlord battalions. You won the role to deploy first, and it's going to give you choice of who goes first.
I'm definitely going to take it, play aggressive, get on some objectives. I'm a slow-moving army, so let's see how that works out.
All right, sounds good. We'll go into Soulblight Gravelords, turn 1.
While the Nighthaunt elect not to remove any units with vanishing phantasms, the Soulblight battle tactic is expand the Grave Empires. Radukar the Beast uses Kin of the Wolf, while the Guardian of Souls uses Heroic Leadership. The Vampire Lord casts Mystic Shield on Radukar, then Belladama casts under a Killing Moon and an Arcane Bolt. Tearing up from the earth and arising from their graves, the Grave Guard and Skeletons deep strike onto the battlefield. Establishing firm control over the objectives, the Gravelords complete their battle tactic and score 3 points.
All right, so Soulblight turn 1. Kind of just got buffs off, moved things in position. I got really lucky, I got all my spells off. So right now, Exploding Sixes to hit is off with Bella, so huge range of 24 inches, which hits a lot of things, which is great. Mystic Shield on Radukar, just kind of as a redundancy for him because he tends to not be, he's only a 4-up save. A lot of the Vycross heroes are only 4-up saves. So gives him a 3-up, which is nice. And really just trying to grab every objective and say, okay, where you want to go? Where are you going to end up? Debated whether or not to put these guys over here. The main reason why I put them here is because the 5-up aura with the Right King is over here.
It's huge.
And now this is 30 bodies, crawling their way on an objective with a 5-up ward that come back every combat phase. So I feel like...
And even the position there, like, there's not a lot of frontage for me to get stuff into combat with them.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? The dire wolves are kind of blocking that way there. Bella, I'm not too concerned about just because she passes off wounds to that wound pool right there. So I felt like she's kind of in a semi-vulnerable position, but not totally. And yeah, I mean, I feel like if I have control and I know turn 2, if I get the turn 2 prio, I can kind of maneuver in either direction, which is kind of nice. So yeah. Yeah,
you've really, by taking first and just pushing everything on the objectives, it really puts the pressure on me to either commit if I want to store points, or not, but obviously that's not scoring points. But it's dangerous, especially even, I was saying you brought out the Grave Guard and that objective was a lot less enticing after that. And
yeah, I mean, the main idea here is that they're all fully within buff range for +1s to attack. They can easily respond back.
Well, that's the thing. I can go in there, and even if I wipe the wolves, if I don't win priority, those Grave Guard will likely, they don't care about Ethereal. They only have Rend 1, so.
Yeah, Rend 1, 2 damage each. Yeah. Also, the idea is with them there, Crucifix is over there, so the aura range is also challenging for the -1 to damage. Because every attack now that'll go through will be 2 damage each. Which
Very
is
true.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, not feeling super optimistic. Not optimistic, but yeah, it's gonna be a tough slog to again chew through all these wounds. So nothing left to do but just do it. So we'll jump into Nighthaunt turn 1.
Resentful of their rival's presence, the Nighthaunt battle tactic is surround and destroy. The Guardian of Souls uses Heroic Leadership while Belladama fails. One Guardian of Souls casts Hoarfrost on the Bladegeists, while the other one has Seal of Shyish unbound. One unit of Hex Wraiths uses At the Double, while the Gravelords gain an additional command point thanks to the standard of the Ulfin Watch. The first unit of Bladegeists deal 8 mortals on impact and stun the dire wolves. Another unit of Bladegeists use Forward to Victory, but fail their charge. The Bladegeist use all-out attack and take out the remaining direwolves. Putting pressure on the enemy's western flank, the Nighthaunt complete their battle tactic but only score 2 points.
Nighthaunt turn 1, and I'm content with kind of what happened. I knew it was going to be a long shot once he brought all the bodies down to take an objective. The one I had the best chance, like the easiest one would have been this one, but I mean, I guess that would have been potential, but I would be no safer there from the Graveguard than I am right here, right?
Absolutely.
So I took out the direwolves, though, again, I guess I would have taken the objective though, but I want to be in a position where I can then easily go and take the Graveguard out with priority, where actually, if I was here, it's harder to get to the Graveguard, you know.
Kind of have to move around.
Exactly, if I win the turn.
Yeah.
So, hoping to win priority, not banking on it, but hoping to win priority. I failed a big charge over here, which actually was kind of my best hope I felt for taking an objective. Don't think I would, I mean, could have killed the direwolves. Like 13 did, killed 8, so, 10 could have easily killed a couple, close to that many after some mortal wounds and potentially take that objective, but didn't quite get there today, and otherwise just kind of moved my last big block of Bladegeist to the center to kind of stretch or flex either way, depending on priority and the pulse. But I'm down 1 point, so gotta fight back, and I guess we can just jump into priority for round 2. Woo. That's
3.
a 1.
Oh, baby.
All right, Mark.
I mean, this is a weird thing, because you normally want to give away, I think, prio in this particular mission.
Yeah.
But given the circumstances that I'm in right now, where I have 20 Bladegeists right there, I don't think I'm terribly troubled if the pulse was to go over here. So I think I'm going to take the turn for sure. Yeah. Instead of giving it away. Yeah,
it makes sense. Well, on that note, I don't like the pulse on either end, but we will put it down here, I think, anyways. And go into Soulblight Gravelords turn 2.
Eagerly taking the opportunity to retaliate, the Soulblight battle tactic is intimidate the invaders. Radikar uses Kin of the Wolf, and the Guardian of Souls uses heroic leadership. The Vampire Lord has Hoarfrost Unbound, and Belladama has Under a Killing Moon Unbound, but she then casts Lichen Curse, which deals 1 mortal wound and spawns a Direwolf. As death is not the end for Nagash's minions, 5 direwolves return to the battle thanks to Endless Legions. Granted the Crimson Feast, the Graveguard attack the Discorporating Bladegeists and deal 15 damage to them. The Bladegeists then retaliate but only deal 1 damage. Then they use Inspiring Presence. Reinforcing their position and taking the fight back to the ghosts, the Gravelords complete their battle tactic and score 6 points.
All right, so winning the prio turned out to be very much the good idea. I think, with this. Just pushed forward a little and
made the objectives even harder to take.
Made the objectives even harder to take, exactly. Was lucky I got back my res roll for the wolves that died, so just brought back a unit of 5. Brought back another 2 in that unit because of the heroic action, and Belladonna's spell made another one single unit of wolves over there. So really great army for control, as you can see. Little underwhelming what the Graveguard were doing. I was really expecting them to just up and lift the unit. But
4 up ethereal save and then a 5 aboard with Discorporate.
Exactly. If you make those saves, it's like, no problem. They'll definitely stick around. So,
happy about that, obviously.
But still happy to have the objective. So I know I have the pulse now. I have the objective next to it. Tactic-wise, I went for something that wasn't as risky and just something very simple, which was Intimidate. I've kind of already set myself up for Surround, should I need it, with the use of the Direwolf that I summoned over there. Should I need it later on, and all of that jazz. So. And then also Callous Overlord is also a potential with that 1 wolf. So,
it's definitely looking tough, like I said, to take those objectives back. You're putting, hard spot, but
for sure.
Again.
This many skellies were contemplating charging.
Yeah.
And the big thing that I kind of talked myself out of charging them was just because having them on the objective, they could have charged the Blade Geists. It doesn't really do anything for me. Potentially, yeah, I might kill a couple, but I don't tie them up because Nighthaunt can retreat and charge.
Yep.
And I already am within aura range, and I'm kind of saying this is my objective, come and take it.
Yep. Yep. Put the onus on me to try and keep it close in this game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's going to be tough, but we're going to try. And we're going to jump into Nighthaunt turn 2.
As they prepare for another assault, the Nighthaunt battle tactic is Tides of Terror. The Guardian of Souls uses Heroic Leadership, while the Vampire Lord uses their Finest Hour. One Guardian of Souls has Spectral Lure Unbound, while the other fails to cast Hoarfrost. As the Nighthaunt forces position to attack, the skeletons redeploy, moving 3 inches. The Blade Geist deal 1 mortal on impact and shriek the Graveguard. Then the Hex Wraiths stun them and deal 1 more mortal wound. The next unit of Blade Geist deals 6 mortals on impact, and the last unit uses Forward to Victory, then deals 2 mortals and stuns the Direwolves. The Spirit Torment uses the Light Shard of the Harvest Moon, which grants an extra attack to Nighthaunt units. The first unit of Blade Geist attacks and deals 11 damage to the Graveguard, who then attack next and deal 8 damage to the Hex Wraiths. The next unit of Blade Geist takes out a unit of Direwolves, while another unit of Wolves takes down 1 ghost. The last unit of Blade Geists retaliate and deal 8 damage back to the Wolves. The lone Direwolf deals 1 wound to the Hex Wraiths, who finish him off in retaliation. The unit of 5 Direwolves attack and deal 1 damage to the Blade Geists. The last Hex Wraith deals 1 damage, then the remaining Graveguard flee to Battle Shock, and the Spirit Torment returns 3 Blade Geists. Taking the fight to the gory undead, the Nighthaunt fail their battle tactic and score only 4 points.
Nighthaunt turn 2. Wow, lots of action already. I had a great turn. I'm really happy with this. Only one notable flaw, which was my battle tactic. I knew it was a bit of a riskier one. I could have gone for like some automatic ones, but I wanted to save like Intimidate the Invaders for later. I thought I had a good shot at this. What let me down was rolling just a bare 3-inch charge with my big unit of Blade Geists. Because what I wanted to do was like put them all the way in, put the mortals into Radukar, and then split my attacks into Radukar and the other wolves, allowing me to get my battle tactic for having 2 units within half an inch, which is really tough, of those dire wolves. Thinking it was a blade block, they were to survive, I would have a good shot at it. Didn't end up obviously getting it because that charge, I basically just had to wipe the wolves and kind of knew it was mostly shot from there. Though there was one potential with my, with 3 blade guys coming back, I could have gotten within half an inch, or did get within half an inch of your remaining Graveguard. Yeah, but because they were within 3, they automatically could not pass battle shock, so the rest of them fled.
Sadly, yes.
So if they didn't flee, I would have gotten my battle tactic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is what it is. Again, drop those points, but hopefully putting myself in a position where I can
really,
come back
really come back in this. It wasn't looking good, and definitely with all of the lift that you have.
Yep.
We were just talking about the collective buffs from my hunt that are really strong.
+1 hit, +1 wound reliably, like in a bubble. I did the artifact for +1 attack on everything. Again, wish I had been in further to spend it, and not out of the realm of possibility to wipe everything on that objective if I had got like a big 7 to 10 inch charge.
Absolutely, yeah. With the amount of models we have here, for sure.
Yeah, could have done it. Didn't get there. Still a good turn though. Looking at another priority.
Yeah.
So we're heading into round 3. That's a 3.
5.
All right.
Yeah, I think I gotta take it.
Okay.
That was looking a bit scary. I gotta crawl back on some points here.
Yeah, makes sense. So we will go into Soulblight Gravelords, turn 3.
As their minions fall to the swirling spirits, the Soulblight battle tactic is bait and trap. Belladama uses Kin of the Wolf, while the Guardian of Souls uses Heroic Leadership. The Bladegeist rally and return 3 models. Then the Vampire Lord casts Mystic Shield on Radakar. Belladama casts Soul Pike on the Bladegeists, as well as Lycan Curse, which deals 2 mortal wounds. Re-emerging from the grave sites, 10 Graveguard arise again thanks to Endless Legions. Having been granted Lord of Shambling Bones and Crimson Feast, the skeletons take down the Bladegeist even though they use Discorporate. The other Bladegeists fight next and deal 3 damage to both Radakar and the skeletons. The White King deals 4 wounds to the Bladegeists, but Radakar doesn't manage to deal any damage. The remaining Direwolves fight but deal no damage either, and the Bladegeists use Inspiring Presence. Continuing the success of their campaign, the Gravelords complete their battle tactic and score 6 points.
All right, Soulblight, turn 3. Needed to get the primary. Really needed some hot charges to get those skellies.
Yeah, right up in there.
Right up in there and all the way around. Needed to get the bodies on the objective and was very lucky. Got a 12-inch charge. Managed to get all of them there. Threw all of my buffs. The +1 to attack, exploding 6s to hit from the Right King, and really managed to lift those 10.
The small unit of Bladegeists, which I tried to keep alive with Discorporate.
Yeah. Sadly, realizing, not realizing and kind of like reflecting now, going, oh, what did I do? I threw Radakar into the unit of 20 Bladegeists, and they are in range of their aura for the Crucifix, Cruciator, that guy. The neg-1 damage, and unfortunately completely made it so his attacks were very underwhelming, very ineffective. Decided to really throw the wolves in this time to just roll and try to get stuff through. I mean, 4-ups are swingy, so just trying to get stuff through, and also just making pile-ins, making all of that very challenging, very difficult for your turn. Even with retreating out, making that more challenging as well, with just the way and the shape of the units and the way they've piled in at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Quite annoying to get in there and
really try and do anything for that. Had to kind of sacrifice this objective, which is a bit of not a great situation to be in, but kind of a measured thing because the skeletons are right in between those objectives. So given that if what happens on turn 4, if they hold their ground,
they can fight on both.
They can fight on both. They can maybe finagle on either objective, which is kind of good at this point. Yeah. Overall, I don't hate what's going on.
It was a good turn. You got on the objective. You scored the 2 points. That was the big goal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No. Again, feel like backed up against the wall for Nighthaunt, and I gotta have a big turn to answer here. Try and take that objective back. We'll see if we can do it. Going into Nighthaunt, turn 3.
Again, looking to batter their rival undead enemies, the Nighthaunt battle tactic is led into the Maelstrom. The Guardian of Souls fails Heroic Leadership, while Radakar uses their Finest Hour. One Guardian of Souls has Spectral Lure Unbound, while the other fails to cast Hoarfrost. The Guardian of Souls then uses Ruler of the Spirit Hosts, but fail to return a destroyed Nighthaunt unit. The Bladegeists use Forward to Victory, stunning the skeletons and dealing 4 mortals on impact. The other unit of Bladegeists deal 2 mortals on impact and shriek at the Vampire Lord. After 6 skeletons rejoin the fight, the Bladegeist attack and deal 18 damage to them. The Vampire Lord deals no damage, then the Spirit Hosts do 1 wound to the White King and kill 1 more skeleton. While the Direwolves do nothing, the Bladegeist take down the Vampire Lord and deal 6 damage to the wolves. The White King kills 3 Bladegheists, then the skeletons kill 6 more. The Hexwraith and Guardian of Souls deal 3 damage to the Direwolves. Then the Chain Ghasts take out another wolf. One Bladegeist and the remaining skeletons flee to Battle Shock. Continuing to lay low the hordes of shambling minions, the Nighthaunt complete their battle tactic and score 6 points.
Again, we're fighting back, scoring the primary pulse, so that's 2 points there. 6 points overall for the turn, so quite happy with that. Graveguard coming back to actually stop me from getting another point. Obviously, they came back on the previous turn. So, again, it's going all right. My Bladegeist, like, I'm losing some at different stages and all that, so resources are dwindling. We're doing damage and bringing guys back, and we haven't gotten off any of the spells to bring like D6 back, which would be big, but even just the one hero bringing 3 back at the end of combat has been big.
Yeah, for sure.
Thinking that 6 the battle round, so it's been all right. I decided not to go into Radjikar. I mean, I could have probably killed him, but then I'm not putting the attacks into the bodies to take them off the objective.
For sure.
And Radjikar right now with the Crusader isn't really at peak efficiency.
Yeah.
So he's not too scary right now. He can't tie me up because I have retreat and charge. So
for sure.
Yeah, just trying to score everything I can. Obviously now the objective is moving down. So it's a great thing about having retreat and charge.
Yeah. You can always move around with the objective. Yeah.
So I think I'll be able to effectively do that. And I think, again, that each priority is getting bigger and bigger if I win it, I think.
Correct, yeah.
In this case now, I'd be able to take out the Graveguard before they have a chance to do anything, take the Pulse and make it hard for you to take it back, probably kill the big unit of Direwolves.
For sure.
So, fingers crossed, but we can just jump into it. Whew. So this is gonna be out for round 4. That's a 4.
That's a
Mark,
6.
You beat me by 2 again.
Oh, I gotta hang in there. It's pretty much a lot of just hanging in there because I don't have the necessary lift to be able to take out a whole unit of 20 Bladegheists, it seems. So I mainly just have to play as coy as possible, really try and
play the objectives
as much as I can. And it makes sense for me just to take it and put in as many bodies as possible. Just try and hold as much as I can and score as much as I can in this turn. For sure.
Cool. Well,
Awesome.
we'll see how much you can reinforce and jump into Soulblight turn 4.
Unfazed by the losses of their unliving thralls, the Soulblight battle tactic is grasping dead. Belladama uses Kin of the Wolf, while the Guardian of Souls uses Heroic Leadership. Belladama casts Lycan Curse and deals 2 mortal wounds, then casts Soul Pike on both units of Bladegeists. Continuing the unending march of undead, 15 skeletons return to battle with endless legions. The Graveguard begin the fighting and deal 7 damage to the Hexwraiths. The Central Bladegeists deal 3 damage to the Direwolves and 2 to the White King. The Bladegeist use Discorporate as Radikar attacks, and he only deals 3 damage, then later suffers 4 wounds from their Retaliation. The Guardian of Souls deals 2 damage to the direwolves, and the Hexwraith finishes the last one off. The White King attacks and deals 3 damage to the Bladegeists. The last Hexwraith kills 1 direwolf, and the Spirit Host deals 2 damage to the White King. Continuing the brutal fighting and shredding the ethereal spirits, the Gravelords complete their battle tactic and score 6 points.
Okay, so Soulblight turn 4. So Soulblight turn 4, they did Grasping Dead. And mainly just use these direwolves to retreat out and then pile in 6 to keep them engaged so I could get that Grasping Dead. Other than that, yes, bringing back 3 blade dice. Yeah. Bringing back 3 blade dice, absolutely. And I forgot an important role in the entire game. I forgot that Vycross also has an ability that if a hero goes, the unit also can attack.
I don't think there would have been too big,
there was nothing huge there. So that's I think the only big oopsie daisy. Other than that, remembered it for this round though, which was great. Remembering the double activation is always
it's a couple extra activations, but most of the time, your dogs just aren't doing anything anyways.
And that's the thing, right? Yeah. I think it's more just a mentally thing when you're playing the enemy. Know that you can throw your weaker heroes into combat, know that you're safe to get those attacks off, and your unit. Yeah. Things like the Vampire Lord, you can play much more aggressive to get some more attacks off, which is nice. Other than that, try to use Radikar to kind of attack into this unit so you could still leverage his 2 damage. Unfortunately, it was okay. Yeah. Wasn't the greatest of swings. And really knew that I was going to lose this objective regardless. So I used it to, because everything was away from 3 of Radikar, to just do my battle tactic, which is lead into Maelstrom. Yep. Just knowing that he's there and knowing that I'm 3 away, I know that no matter where I go, I'm gonna hit something. And then obviously, it's turned out okay. I brought back 15 models over here from the return. I've been rolling those
the Endless Legions
every turn, which is fantastic for me. And the Endless Legion, having those 15 back now means that objective has quite a bit of bodies on it. And if I roll again and I manage to get it again in this turn, I can place even more bodies on that objective. So it's just nice to have and know I got plenty of bodies that I can always recycle onto that objective. Yeah. But it's definitely another Nighthaunt turn of coming in and smacking me and pushing me off the objective again, I think. It's been kind of the common trend.
We gotta keep trying. It's been tough, haven't really gotten there. Oh, I mean, I've been getting there, but because of the recursion and priority order, it's been like I just haven't been able to get ahead, right?
Yeah,
I've been catching up each turn, but not pulling ahead.
For sure.
So yeah, I guess I was about to roll priority, but we're gonna go into Nighthaunt.
Yeah,
Nighthaunt. Turn 4 first.
Turn 4.
Looking to once again answer the challenge, the Nighthaunt battle tactic is bait and trap. The Guardian of Souls fails heroic leadership, while Belladama succeeds. The Bladegeists rally, returning 2 models. The Spirit Torment primally miscasts Spectral Lure, killing himself, a Hexwraith, and 6 Bladegeists. The other Spirit Torment then has Hoarfrost Unbound. The first unit of Bladegeists suffer 1 mortal from Soulpike, while the second unit suffers 2, but the Direwolves are shrieked at and petrified. The Hexwraith shrieks at and deals 2 mortals to the Graveguard when it charges. The Spirit Hosts attack first but deal just 3 damage to the Graveguard. Belladama fights and deals 2 damage to the Spirit Hosts. Then the White King takes down the Guardian of Souls. The first unit of Bladegeists deals 4 damage to the Direwolves. Then the Graveguard finish off the Hexwraith. The second unit of Bladegeist deals 5 more damage to the direwolves, but it's not enough to take the objective. Suffering self-inflicted losses, the Nighthaunt complete their battle tactic but score only 4 points.
Nighthaunt turn 4 was not what we needed here today. I was dwindling resources for me now, and then the Primal Miscast, I really just needed to get Spectral Lure off. I haven't gotten it all game. It could have been huge, getting 3 dies back and not miscasting means I would have had 9 more dies in combat and lift those wolves. Yeah, not to mention the other Hex Wraith, potentially doing mortals to the Graveguard on the charge. All those little things could have been a lot, So, yeah, just kind of feels like we ran out of steam kind of in the second last round, and I wasn't able to take the pulse objective because of that, so I'm only getting 4 points for the round, so not just falling further behind. So I'm down 5, so it's honestly looking like it's going to be very tough for me to
get it back.
Yeah, to get it back. That's a 3 for priority, 5 for Mark.
Yeah, I mean at that point.
So you would score 6 points here no matter what. I can't really do anything about it. Can just run these wolves in behind and step a bunch of stuff out, leave those wolves in combat so I can't redeploy.
Yeah, pretty much. Move this over here for surround.
Surround and destroy.
My surround and destroy is right there for me.
Automatic.
So pretty much. Yeah.
So Mark, you have a guaranteed 6 points here.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing that was going to be big here, even if I won priority, if I win priority, it meant I couldn't get my grand strat. You could easily deny it.
That's true.
But now, with you going first, I would have the chance on my turn can do Intimidate the Invaders.
For sure.
Yeah, like we were talking about, back out of combat to guarantee my grand strat. Give me 2 points for the turn, 3 at the end. Mark, you're also going to get your grand strategy though, which is already locked up.
Yeah.
So
bringing back this many units has been insane.
Pulling a big lead in the final round for sure. As like a 6 point swing on the objective, so you'll be up, I think, 11 points at the end.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because it'll be hitting up with 6. Yeah.
Yeah, there was probably 3 points I left on the table early in that round 1 and 2, just from silly mistakes or an optimistic battle tactic. But I mean, besides
you got the surround. I think that wasn't the problem.
It was the turn 2.
Oh, the turn 2?
Turn 2 battle tactic. Turn 1 not taking that objective.
That's what it was. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So from a Nighthaunt side, really enjoyed playing them. The 1-inch range on the weapons of the blade dice is really what hurt this kind of a build.
Yeah.
Still good. I just wasn't getting quite as many attacks in at times. So their damage was a little limited, but it was still solid, especially when you get them up to potentially rend 2 or 3.
And the biggest thing is that 2s on 2s. When you get them into
those
that
stacking
aura,
buffs.
Oh, they just and they're back to where they used to be. They feel like they're back where they used to be when they used to have 2-inch range.
Yeah.
It's just because you have to be in those auras, you're forced to kind of keep that castle.
Yeah, a little restrictive. But honestly, that felt fine. The synergies worked out well. I think it was a lot of wounds through. I think I needed here a prio to go my way to be able to pull ahead or kind of capitalize, right? Because we even talking about round 3, I still feel like I could have left Rajutar there and had the wolves and Graveguard dead on my turn, not giving you a chance to, obviously take me down more. Yeah. Or potentially even not taking that objective back.
And that's the key, right? Like having won every single, it was really, I think, every single Brio I won. Maintaining the turn order constantly meant I could constantly just focus on the objective, focus on scoring, and then move on to the next.
And that's what your army's so good at and built to do, right? You're not built to necessarily take out units. You just want to be stepping out, killing what you need to here or there, tying stuff up, and then scoring the points.
And that's exactly it. Killing what you need to, but then just playing coy really the rest of the time and tying things up.
Yeah.
And Nighthaunt is really hard to tie in. There's just so much with the retreat and charge and being able to move very quickly in some cases, definitely the hex rates move very, very fast. So that was oftentimes really, really challenging for sure to kind of negotiate. But Yeah, don't bring this to a tournament. Don't bring this list to a tournament. You will run out of time.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. But it is really fun to see how much control can be on the board when you have that many units and many models on the board.
Yeah.
There's just so much control.
Think if this was an army that didn't have retreat and charge too, of the wolves tying things up and.
Oh, absolutely. You look at it in a different lens from a different army, and all of a sudden, like
it can be super oppressive in some ways.
Yeah, tagging two ends as well, and like making it so your opponent really can't move.
Even just messing with battle tactics.
Oh, absolutely.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. I need to charge with 2 units. No, you don't. I pile in. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, those so good. The wolves, are so good. But we all know Soulblight's solid, but we haven't seen a build like this on the channel, so.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of the zombies. I know zombies is the big thing with Vycross, and a lot of people will run zombies. And I don't like them as much because I find they're kind of stagnant. They're just a lot of bodies and they're stagnant and forward and they just kind of stay there. Dire Wolves the same amount of wounds and they're much more flexible movement-wise, much faster, much quicker.
Can be more proactive,
Be proactive, tagging things is a lot of fun and that.
And synergize with Belladama and Heroic Action and whatnot. Like those are all big elements too.
Bringing on 10 free wolves is like 150 points now. For free.
I think throughout the game you probably got another like 6, 7, 8 maybe with the heroic actions.
I would not be surprised. Yeah, if we were to go back and count it all, I think like every hero phase I was bringing back D3, and I think it would have averaged out to another unit. So fully, you're talking about 5 units, which is around 100 wounds.
Of just
and that's not even with the comeback, and that's not also with the spell of being able to do D3 and make things wolves. That was very awesome to see Bella do that. And really
very effective.
Tie things up, which is cool.
Yeah. No, it was cool. It was great to see the match, and again, we tried to do the damage. We were doing well, but we just weren't. We were hard to keep that momentum going without a prio there, so kind of petered out in the end. But it was still a great showing for Nighthaunt, I think, here today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we now know that Nagash on Halloween favors the Soulblight Gravelords, so we did the best we could with the dose, but we'll have to come back another day for some revenge. But Mark, it was an absolute blast.
Awesome.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed that battle report as well. We'll see you soon in the next one.